Elvis Lyon in charge of our Hard Knocks action, of course, as Ryan Starkell and the black and white trunks comes out to a face-off against Travis Triskle out of United Fighter MMA in the red, white, and black trunks. And a big front kick early, and another kick thrown in response by Starkell as they get up against the cage. And a nice takedown there by Starkell, with Triskle winding up in the dominant position and starting to throw punches from there.
Yeah, very fast striker. Both men, some quick punches and takedown attempts. But right now, it's Triskle on top, and Starkell's got to play some defense here and get him out of a situation.
Triskle trying to free that arm, looking for the ground and pound. Got a half pass now in the half guard of Starkell. Nice punches there from Triskle.
He's trying to get a full position here. He's kind of got a half grasp on him here. Now he's throwing some right hands, which are getting the side of the head. But I think Starkell is handling them all right.
A little bit of damage actually opening up a cut over the eye and over a little bit over the nose, a little bit over the eye, a bit of a mouse growing, and it gets bigger as I talk about it on the forehead of Ryan Starkell.
And that's a tough spot for a cut that could trickle into his eyes if it's as big as it could be. So something to watch out here. But as for now, Triskle just continuing his position dominance here. I'm sure earning some points along the way.
A little bit harder to target that than under full MMA rules, as there's no elbows to the head of a downed opponent, or no elbows to the head of an opponent, period, here in Estevan under the amateur rules.
And still continued shots here from Triskle, but Starkell not taking many violent blows. There is that cut, but he's been not throwing too many punches either, and not making too many efforts to get out of this grasp. And now, as a result, official will stand them up, and we'll try again here.
So not enough action there, and I believe Travis Triskle thinks the round is over. Walking back to his corner and heading back out now, and both men again with a quick kick, but a right hand coming from Triskle at the same time.
Now a different look here for Starkell as he's standing up, trying to catch up in this round, because right now, gotta believe Triskle's winning. So we'll see what Starkell can do in the last 35 seconds here.
Triskle swinging and missing after a little bit of battle for position there. Travis pushing the action.
Kick there connected on the side of the hip there. I think Starkell is okay with that one. He doesn't look too affected. Here's a good kick.
Fighters again throwing a kick, and this time that one a little low. Starkell went down hard.
Needless to say, that one connected. Unfortunately, in an area where you don't want a kick to connect.
No, you certainly don't want to be kicked there. And I'm sure we'll see the replay here in a moment. There it is.
Well, I think both men were kicking at the same time. That exposed an area, and that area, yeah.
That area took a kick that you don't want to take.
And Triskle knew what he connected with. As soon as that landed, he backed away, and I think he was apologetic right away, which, why wouldn't he be? That was a solid shot.
So a bit of a front kick against a side kick, and the front kick won that one to the chagrin of Ryan Starkell, who has not yet regained his feet. Now again, he does have 5 minutes to recover, and I cannot stress enough to anyone out there that's thinking about getting into MMA or as an amateur fighter, if this happens to you, take the 5 minutes. Coming back early is not going to help you prove anything. You're not going to prove how tough you are. You're not going to, I mean, this isn't America's Got Talent for anyone who saw that. I mean, this is not pleasant, and you need the time to recover, because it may not be enough initially. I mean, if you don't take your time to recover, you're not going to be able to recover fully.
Yeah, and you want to be at your best to finish the round, because there's still, a solid time left in the second round, and you don't want to lose it just because you were, trying to be more tough than what you really needed to be and try and go on. So I agree. If you're Ryan, I wouldn't feel any rush here until the official demands you continue. Go for it. But for now, I like this. Just take your time, breathe, get your breath back, and continue your game plan.
Yeah, you got to let the pain go away if you've got the opportunity, and Ryan Starkell is doing that. And now to his knees, and we'll see whether or not he can get up. Again, they do have the full 5 minutes to take advantage of that, and despite the urging of the crowd that you may be able to hear, urging Ryan to continue, urging Ryan to get up, again, you have to take the time it takes, because if he rushes back into this and he's not 100%, it could end up costing him the fight.
Yeah, and both coaches also using this time to give some extra advice here when they got the break, as Coach Kelly and Coach Bongfeld giving some words to their men. And now Starkell's on his feet, still grimacing though.
Yeah, still very much in pain, and you can see it on the face. And on the other side of the cage, Triskle also being smart, not allowing himself to lose that kind of energy, to lose that adrenaline. He's getting out and making sure that can continue. And some advice from Brian Kelly: you don't get to be a Canadian champion Muay Thai without potentially taking 1 or 2 in the pills over the time, and maybe some pain relief techniques coming from a coach who has likely suffered that kind of pain in the past. And we'll see whether or not Starkell's able to continue here. Again, the grimace still on the face of Starkell, but again, 5 full minutes, and I believe it's been 3.5 minutes now, as per the timekeeper, since time was called. So we still got another 90 seconds, and again, take that 90 seconds. There's no need to rush back.
And if you're looking at Triskle, he's looking kind of anxious. He just asked the scorekeeper, was this time yet? Has this been 5 minutes? Like, no, still time. So he's anxious, and he's got to have that mindset, because Triskle had some good momentum in this round here, and he'll want to continue on that. Just like you mentioned, how the break can affect Starkell's performance next to the round if he rushes back. Triskle waiting around, it could have the same effect on him, just getting relaxed and not focused until that fight resumes. So we'll see how this plans out, and it looks like we're going to get going pretty quick here.
So I believe, yeah, Elvis Lyon coming over and asking Starkell if he can continue, as the 5 minutes had expired. And the likely and expected touching of gloves there, as of course that flow never an intentional one. And Starkell looks to be now no worse for wear. No time left though in round number 2, and Travis Triskle doing an excellent job of checking that punch, because he was halfway through throwing a punch when the bell rang and the hand immediately dropped, so as to not cause yet another illegal blow.
Yeah, and the officials have not been afraid to deduct points tonight. We've already seen it in a fight, so good job there to hold back. And I think another good job by the officials to not deduct the points without more blow, because it was not intentional. And guys aren't here to hurt each other, here to make some sport, and that's all that was. Those things happen.
Well, the first one, of course, you're going to let that one go, because again, not intentional. Should it happen again, though, I have seen it on a couple of occasions here in the Hard Knocks Fighting Championship, where a point gets deducted. That was a nice front kick from Starkell there as the round came to an end, and you can see the left hand, or that's the takedown from earlier in the fight, my apologies. But yeah, that's clearly the best of the round there, and likely that round going to Triskle as well.
I agree. Both men ready to go here.
Yeah.
We're underway here, both men.
Round number 2 underway as these fighters get going. A big swing and a miss from Triskle, which led to him eating a punch from Starkell, and then responding with a kick of his own. And again, the kicks coming from Triskle fast and furious.
And I was going to say, we kind of slowed down since the first round, but now we get some action here as another tie-up. Both men trying for a takedown here, but both defending it well. However, Triskle's got a bit of a leverage advantage here, and now he's throwing some body shots.
And more blood around the eye of Ryan Starkell looks like he's got a cut underneath the eye this time.
And he recognized that he's trying to block it with his shoulder there. As you can probably feel the blood coming down. He's got to be worrying about his vision as well with this.
Triskle backs up, and that is getting ugly under the eye of Ryan Starkell. But fortunately, because it's under the eye, not likely to stop the fight. That cut would have to be significantly worse for the doctor to consider it, because it's under the eye, it doesn't impede his vision, and should have no trouble with that as the fight continues.
And if you're Travis Triskle, that could be a giant bullseye. He might be working on that side of his face, because it's got to be bothering him.
And you can see the right hand's coming to the left side of Starkell's face, and again, bleeding from just underneath the eye. And but again, he was bleeding from above the eye earlier, and that seems to have closed up. So we'll see how lasting the damage is here on Ryan Starkell.
This is kind of disappointing for Starkell. He mentioned he knows Triskle likes to throw punches, and he's getting caught with them. So he knew the game plan coming in. Right now, not following as suit as he would have liked. And right now, he's not being as aggressive as he was in the first round either. Although he got a shot in there, but Triskle looking good so far.
Well, and Triskle at this point looks like he's playing it a bit safe, Steve. So he seems to, he goes in, he takes a couple strikes. When he had the opportunity to try and secure a takedown, he backed off of it, thinking that the striking, he's getting the better of it. So he just wants to continue that, and does that in that exchange there.
And some more punches thrown, none really landing. I think Starkell took one in the ribs there, but he absorbed it.
Starkell's got a big welt on the back of his ribs, likely from an earlier kick. You can see it there.
Oh, yeah.
The shape of Triskle's foot is carved out in red on the back of Ryan Starkell, and a big uppercut there to the eye of Starkell.
Just looking at Triskle's face, no real marks or anything to worry about. Although I think there's a cut on top of his head, as I mentioned that.
Again, not much time left, and Triskle trying to measure that punch, and as the bell rang, ducked behind Elvis as he thought that Starkell might be throwing a punch. And you're right, there is a cut on Travis Triskle. I believe it might be at the top of his forehead. I'm not sure if that's where the blood was coming from, but nevertheless, a cut now on both fighters. You can see here in this exchange, both fighters really swinging for the fences, and that uppercut again backs off. Didn't swarm his opponent, didn't come in. At that point, not necessarily trying to finish the fight, or trying to manage it.
Yeah, he saw an opening, got the shots that he wanted to, and didn't want to waste any energy on some shots that might not connect. And we saw it in a couple fights earlier. For example, Greg Goodry, he wasted some energy in some shots that didn't necessarily land. But I think Triskle didn't want to fall into that trouble and got the shots he wanted, and he was satisfied with that.
So third and final round upcoming between Travis Triskle in the red and white Hayabusa trunks, the black and white predominantly trunks for Ryan Starkell, and you'll also be able to recognize Ryan Starkell by the pink mustache and 204 shaved into his head. Triskle swinging wildly, and the punches from his opponent getting through.
Yeah, Triskle, you got to think we had the advantage the first two rounds, so seeing him more aggressive this round, something surprising. You'd think he'd try and just coast to a victory here, but he's being aggressive, and Starkell's also throwing some punches.
Well, and Starkell's got to think he's down 2 rounds at this point. He's going to have to finish the fight in this round if he wants to win. A big slapping kick off the forearm of Ryan Starkell, thrown by Travis Triskle, and doing an excellent job so far of controlling the fight, managing the fight, keeping his opponent at bay and throwing punches. But coming forward also looks good in the eyes of the judges, that cage control.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. He's not landing massive blows, but just consistent good shots. The refs got to notice that, and I think they're awarding points because of this reason. And for Starkell, you got to realize that you got to get some shots in, and he can't take these random kicks and jabs that he has been taking. And I think he's got to go for the kill here.
Oh! A big punch from Starkell. He is swarming Triskle with 1:40 left in round number 3. He has dropped him, and we'll see if he can finish here, but Triskle doing a good job of hanging on and hoping to recover after a big right hand from Ryan Starkell.
And we mentioned going for the kill, and a second later, big shot there, and now Starkell suddenly has the advantage here. You can put the fight away here if you can land a couple more shots here.
Triskle's in trouble. He walked away from his opponent, and before Starkell could get to him, it seems like he's recovered. And Starkell now rocked with a big hand, and he comes in looking for the kick and wisely checked it as there's no kicks to the head. And again, Triskle now swarming after rocking Starkell. Both fighters have been in trouble here in round number 3 with less than a minute to go.
Wow, that's a mistake by Starkell. He had him wobbling, he left himself open, took a shot. Now they're both in distress right now. And Triskle now trying to slow things down here as he was wobbling earlier.
And Starkell now going for the mount, trying to throw punches and end this fight. Again, likely needs to finish it if he wants to win it. Triskle pulled off the cage by Starkell, who again is inside control. Just 26 seconds to go here, and he's going to be looking to finish with blows as he comes down and tries to work ground and pound. Just 15 seconds now left on our endurance fight clock, as now he has his back. It's whether or not he can sink a choke here in the last 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds to go. Triskle trying to power his way through. That choke now locked on. Now does he tap? With just a few seconds, he taps! Ryan Starkell may have pulled this one out of the fire, tapping out Travis Triskle with just a few seconds left on the fight clock.
Unreal, he had to hold on for about 3 more seconds, Triskle did, but he didn't, he tapped. I'm not sure if you heard the 10-second or not, but wow, what a amazing win by Ryan Starkell, pulling one out of the hat. What an incredible round.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the official decision brought to you by the Tap House. The winner at 3 minutes in the 3rd round, the winner by tap out due to rear naked choke, in the red corner, Ryan